Hello and welcome to this short video tour of Agape. Agape is a Halbarassi 43 from 2004. She is for sale by her second owners who have owned her since 2008. Agape is very well specified for blue water cruising. She has a lot of equipment on board which I'll hopefully point out to you during the course of this video. This is obviously the coach roof which has the laid teak decks from build, so it's Halbarassi teak deck. We have the 43 has a triple spreader Saloon anodized mast with a spinnaker pole stowed on the front. There's also a spinnaker pole on the deck, so she has two spinnaker poles in total. In here is Elfstrom offshore mainsail, which is controlled by hydraulic furling. That's the motor there. She also has a hydraulic head sail, which we'll look at in a second, both of which are controlled from the cockpit. Push button sailing on Agape. She is really easy to handle, short-handed. Coming forwards, we've got a big foredeck here with a large hatch for the forward cabin, the anchor windlass with foot controls. There's also a remote at the helm station, so you can drop the anchor from the wheel. Just to the left in this picture is the deck fitting. Agape has the inner forestay which stows at the mast, we'll see in a second, and a Hank-on storm sail for that purpose. Double bow roller as well, a large anchor. Here's the hydraulic furler for the head sail. Looking back down the boat, you can see these lovely wide decks for walking around. Being a centre cockpit design, movement around the boat is very easy, all one level, handholds all the way. We've got an extra lower shroud. Most Halbarassis have a very strong rig, very strong arrangement. At the base of the mast here, which is deck stepped, you can just see that U-bend fitting on the mast. That's the inner forestay on your stow position. We have the hydraulic pipes coming out the deck here for the furling main, and there's also a water outlet for washing down the deck or the anchor as she comes up in from muddy bottoms. This is more hatches and ventilation for the main saloon. The life raft sits in front of the windscreen. The windscreen itself is made of tempered glass in an aluminium frame. The centre section opens to allow a breeze to come through. Handholds on the frame. This stainless steel frame that's lying on the deck here is for a bimini, gives you shade while you're sailing. The other canvas she has is the spray hood here attached to the windscreen. That also folds forwards and under a nice blue leather cover when it's not in use. And the cockpit extension which encloses the cockpit. We'll go in the cockpit in a second. It's fully protected from the elements. Here is the main primary winches. These are Lumar 54s for use with the head sail sheets. Walking aft, we come up to the back deck, the aft deck. This is over the main cabin, the owner's cabin, which is en suite. More ventilation and hatches. The main sheet arrangement is just behind the helm's position, so you can be controlled when you're steering. On the transom, we have lots of equipment mounted. This stainless steel frame which comes up has a host of antennas and also the radome for the radar. On the starboard side is the duogen. In the foreground of the picture you can just see the insulated backstay for use with the high frequency radio. The black fitting there on the transom on the cap rail, this is for a passerelle, which is a teak aluminium frame teak grate. She also has the hot and cold shower for the swim platform. There's two large steps and a stainless steel swim ladder. Agape has removable solar panels as well, which are flexible, which can be used when you're at anchor to help charge the batteries. Looking forward, I've taken out the back section of the cockpit extension. All the sides can also be removed, so you can get air flowing through if you want to in a variety of situations. Helm's position here, a lovely hide covered wheel. You can see you have the autopilot in the centre below the steering compass. On the left or port side is the bow thruster controls. This was added in 2008 when the current owners bought the boat. The black buttons here are for controlling the sails in and out. There's the merchant bilge pump, engine controls here as well. Like I said, there is a remote for the anchor windlass. Forward of the wheel we have a large cockpit, suitable seating for 4 people. Companionway hatch goes down. We've got these lovely varnished trays here which are great for stowing equipment that you might readily need to keep to hand. I just taught you through the instruments we got here. This is a remote for the autopilot. It's got a long cable which you can feed through the centre section, opening section of the windscreen, and control the boat lying on the foredeck if you like. A forward facing sonar, depth sounder, speed and wind, and then we have 2 VHF speakers for both the radios. Here is the Raymarine radar as well. Just swing back round to look at the pedestal. There's a lovely varnished table here which folds up, and a deep cockpit locker for stowage. The washboards are here in purpose-made boxes. That keeps them from swinging around, flying around the boat when you're sailing. There's plenty of stowage in here for all the equipment you need. Agape, it comes supplied with lots of equipment. She really is in sail-away condition. Down below on Agape, we're in the main saloon here. She is finished in the mahogany interior joinery with blue upholstery. The upholstery is in very good condition throughout. The main saloon is dominated by this large folding leaf table with storage in the centre section. The starboard side, the backrest lift up to make a large sea berth. Above is storage in ventilated lockers. The main bulkhead is here, the mast supports and compression post on the left hand side of the picture. Forward on the 43 we have an ensuite forward cabin. This is great accommodation. There is hanging lockers, there's a small sort of chest locker here, small vanity area with more storage above and below. The V berth here is the centre section I've pulled out so you can see. Below here is plenty of storage. There is a bow thruster, but there's still room for all the extra sails you might want to carry. Again, more vented lockers above. There is a large hatch which we saw on the deck that has the sky blind, which is a mosquito net and also a blackout blind. There's reading lamps both sides, finished in chrome. You can see the mahogany slats here exposed. These allow air to ventilate throughout the boat, reduces condensation. Here is the forward heads. There's a large shower unit here for standing in. Locker, there's the marine heads with its own stainless steel holding tank. Behind the door there is more stowage, and we have the sink in Korean with a Korean sink, and the hot and cold mixer below the mirror. Above there are 2 opening hatches and also a deck vent. The view back into the saloon, you see the galley is on the starboard side and the chart table on the port side. Both these areas can be used without disrupting the flow of people through the boat. There's these upright handholds and then these sturdy mahogany handholds in the ceiling. Again, the main hatch has the blinds / mosquito nets. 4 very wide accessible steps down from the cockpit with safety equipment stowed below for easy access. The galley is a U-shaped arrangement which is very popular, proven to be of great use on these 43. You can sit here, or stand here rather, without getting thrown around, pass things to the cockpit. There's a double stainless steel sink, hot and cold mixer, there's a seawater pump, foot pump, and a freshwater foot pump. A large top-loading refrigeration compartment with a small freezer compartment, thermostatically controlled. Loads of workspace here, sliding lockers above, and a very nice Plastimo cooker with the grill, 2 burner. On the port side, like I said, is a large forward-facing chart table with a navigator's seat. Behind navigator's seat you can see a second refrigerator compartment. This can be used as a freezer or a drinks fridge. This is a really good extra at build. They're very difficult to add after build. The instrumentation is all readily available here. There's a sat phone. We have the the high frequency radio, a multi-reader as anchor watch me, and the chart plotter. This panel drops down to reveal a lot of the wiring for the electronics, but on the other side, the walkthrough, which has a standing room of almost 6 feet, is the 12-volt distribution panel and your gauges for fuel, water and batteries. Above are the heater controls. There's inverter controls. Agape boasts 2 inverters, one of which is 2000 watts, one of which is 400 watts. Generator control, Fisher Panel generator, which we'll look in a minute, and the battery monitors here. The walkthrough again, on the outboard side is a large ventilator hanging locker, bookshelf on the inboard side. This is the main owner's cabin. Full standing room here at well over 6 foot. We've got a large double berth on the starboard side, separated by a seat, and a sea berth on the port side. Loads of light and ventilation comes via these hatches, these port lights, and there again is the large opening hatch with the screens above. Below here you will find the batteries and the steering arrangement. And we step through into the well-appointed ensuite, which again has a sea toilet with its own holding tank. There's the shower there, perspex screen that comes across to stop any splashes going everywhere. Another Korean sink, all with hot and cold fresh water. On the bulkhead here, this is the controllers for the Spectra water maker. That's below the aft berth as well. Filters are underneath the sink here, so you can create lots of water, run the generator, create water. Agape has all the equipment you need to stay out of marinas and cruising for extended periods of time. Inboard of the walkthrough on a 43 is the main access to the engine room, dominated by this D255 engine. This has just less than 2,000 hours on the clock, which is below average for a boat of this age. Everything's very easily accessible. You can see the feet and the some inlets here, oil filters, etc. This is the autopilot, which is linked to the stainless steel coupling here. There's direct connection to the quadrant, which reduces play significantly when you turn the wheel to turn the rudder. Here is a battery charger and one of the inverters from Master Volts. Just above is the 220 distribution panel, and this distributes the power to the water heater, the charger, the washing machine, which is also situated in the cupboard in the forward heads, and also the outlets. With the Fisher Panda generator, which is a 6 kilowatt Fisher Panda generator, you can run all these systems while you're not plugged in, i.e. while you're cruising. There's the freshwater accumulator is in the red sphere here. Behind that is the hot water tank as well. This engine has 2 70 amp hour alternators, which helps to charge the batteries in super quick time. She has Varta batteries. These are relatively new, 720 amp hours. They were new in 2016. There is the Webasto heating up here. I'm sorry, the lights doesn't really show it very well. And again, there's outlets in all the cabins around the boat.